And sets another day. Billions will kneel and pray. Anything to wait, escape from the world so cold and gray.
And welcome back to another episode of Bones and Tubs. We're here for your ears.
Yes.
Every week.
Pornographic pop-ups of truth.
Yeah, we are literally the spam of your life. Except this is clickbait you actually want to click on.
Click up,
I know I would.
Goddamn right. Send me a link, I'll click it.
Exactly. Every time. So, what's been going on this week?
I just ended a fast. I was going to continue, but...
See, I didn't know if you were going to keep going or not.
Well, I didn't plan. I just kind of did it.
Mm-hmm.
I bought about 6 pounds of grapes. Maybe more. And some blueberries, watermelon, shit like that.
Yeah.
So I started it on Sunday night. I think the last meal I had was a Sunday at like 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And then first thing I woke up Monday, and I waited until about 1 or noon, and I filled up a Ninja cup full of grapes and blueberries, smashed it,
Yeah.
drank it, felt amazing. And then did that again, about another probably 5 hours later. I was different kind of hunger.
Yeah.
Because then you've gone almost 24 hours without solid food.
So your body's starting to be like, what's going on?
It freaks me out because I started craving specific things, and that let me know that it wasn't me that wanted them, it was the parasites that live in my body.
Please.
Sing das pasta, faggot.
Yeah. Everybody loves pasta.
Right. Well, Monday was good. I just continued the juice. And let's see. Tuesday, I woke up and I felt really good.
Yeah.
Because I was completely empty out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because I was reading prior to, and the idea is that once you get rid of all the stuff in your digestive system, basically your body has like mucus layers in all the systems, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it gets backed up over time with constant like shitty food and a nasty diet. Once you empty it out, it gives your body a chance to actually do its work.
Oh, okay.
So I could feel all the mucus, like my sinuses and everywhere, and it was just like expelling.
Nice.
It was fucking crazy.
Your humors were realigned.
Yeah.
You felt all of them, good.
Toward the end of Tuesday, I started to feel like I was going to, go insane.
There's a guy, a supporter of the show, who he juice fasts, it seems like, for long periods of time.
Is that the Bearded Badger?
Yeah, it is, the Bearded Badger.
He's the one that gave me a lot of my inspiration.
Man.
He planned it out differently. Plus, I feel like his factory job allows for things like glass mason jars.
Yeah.
Where you could fill it up with juice prior. My only alternative was Ice Mountain water bottles.
Yeah. And then people are like,
nah.
What are you drinking?
Fuck other people, but...
Yeah, that's true.
I need to buy more.
Yeah.
I feel like once maybe after Friday, because it's the day of pay.
Yeah.
I'm going to
do it like that.
Go through that way. I'm at least going to clean it up.
Yeah.
I'm only going to eat simple things.
Sounds like a good idea.
I also tried the little bit of water, a full lime juice, and then a little bit of maple syrup.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one before. I'd probably sooner do a juice fast over like a raw diet.
Yeah. Just
because I feel like I'd end up being miserable on a raw diet. Just like no cooked food at all.
I don't know, man. You should definitely try it out. It was crazy. It was like drugs. I felt really, really euphoric.
See, maybe I'll have to try it out then.
I mean, it's good. At least try it for your days off, one
do
time.
it a couple days.
It's really good.
Clean myself out.
I'm also going to go with Elmo on this. He said he never went on a full juice fast, but he did do like a meal replacement.
Yeah.
And he's like, after 3 or 4 days, the stuff he was expelling from his body was foul.
Yeah.
That's that plaque.
It's like, literally just destroying it, getting out of your system.
Kick it out of there.
Yeah, give your body a chance to recuperate.
I've seen people, like this Jeff Berwick guy, I've been consuming all his content, but he's been on like 90 days, 120 days, and the only solid food he puts in there is vegetarian.
What's the I don't mean to get blue, but what's the poops like?
I haven't really experienced much yet,
Like,
which is what's strange.
There has to be something. I mean, it's like, are you just like, you're putting the stuff in a blender and then blending it up, right?
Yeah, I really feel like the only thing that came out was green. So it was like a mixture. I had a kale shake the day before.
Was it extra runny or was it like... See, I'm getting blue on this one, but I'm curious.
Have you ever done a kale shake?
Yes.
So you know that like you just kind of, you get the notification.
Yeah.
Bing. And you run to the bathroom and you just sit down and you're done. It's pretty much.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to do that.
It's like that.
Okay.
But I feel like the only solid food I've had in 72 hours, last night I broke fast with a brown rice chicken bowl.
Nice.
So.
And it felt good? Did you feel logged down by it or?
No. I feel really good right now. All the inner demons have shut the fuck up.
Now, did you stay away from caffeine and all that during that time?
I started to, but that's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So the first day I took a caffeine pill and I immediately regretted it.
I didn't drink any caffeine yesterday. I guess that's a thing.
Yeah.
I just woke up and normally I'd start with a nice strong cup of coffee, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm good today. I slept in yesterday, so
yeah.
Which I don't normally sleep in. Usually, like my internal alarm clock sets me up at the ass crack of dawn.
Right. Like a cock.
Yeah.
A rooster, as it was.
But yesterday, I mean, it did wake me up, but then I laid back down. I didn't have nothing to do. It was my day off.
Yeah. Why not?
I was like, fuck it. I was like, I only get 5 to 5.5 hours of sleep every day for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Might as well sleep in the day.
Charge up.
Charge up them batteries.
Just for a point of reference, I think the reason why I went through caffeine withdrawal is because I take 600 milligrams a day plus.
That could be. Yeah, that's like drinking 3 or 4 pots of coffee.
24 milligrams or 25 milligrams 2 to 3 times a day of ephedrine.
Yeah.
Speed freak.
Yeah.
Some would call it.
The ECA stack.
Yeah.
That's legit.
It is when you're trying to use it, for weight loss. Instead, I just use it as a way of life.
Yeah, see, I've done the ECA a few times to everybody, and I'm not going to say it's for everybody. I'm not going to endorse it. The last time I did it, I think that was... I've contemplated doing it again, but then... It's, I think I took it too far the last time and, almost, went nuts and crazy.
Yeah. I've heard that that's a thing too. Like some people have a predisposition the first time they take it and all it does is give gasoline to the demon driving the car.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not a good idea.
No, it definitely
I'm not a doctor.
I've had rage issues in the past and it feeds that part of me that I've been trying to starve off for years.
Yeah.
And, tries to bring it back again.
Yeah.
From my more formidable, useful years. And then some would say it's just because the fluoride's working. That's why I don't get mad anymore. But at the same time, I really doubt that our reason for being here is to be pissed off and angry all the fucking time.
Is it nihilism? Or what's nihilism turn into?
No, nihilism
is the first stage, I feel like, where you're like, everything sucks a dick. And then eventually you're like, everything's fine.
See, I don't know what the evolution... I always thought nihilism, if you went towards the route of nihilism, that was the end of the road.
Oh, okay.
That's where the road dead ends.
Maybe my alternative is like the breakdown. Some people kill themselves and then other people just end up how we are, where it's like, this is fine.
See, the problem with nihilism is like I said, I feel like it's a dead end, and once you get there, your only option is to turn around. But the problem is if you turn around and start giving a shit again, people are going to think you're disingenuous.
Yeah. So I see you're on antidepressants. You know, that's what my cop out always goes to.
Yeah,
which is typically right, which is sad.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some warriors in my day just completely brought back down to the level of a docile sheep by medicine.
Yeah,
people at our work, few of them.
For sure. I'm terrified of that shit. My dad, when he was alive, he got on him for a while. Him and his next wife, and they were just fucking psychological train wrecks.
Yeah.
You know, you could walk in on your entire family murdered on the floor, and he'd be like, huh.
Oh, wow.
It's a sunny day, though. I mean, things happen.
I think I almost felt an emotion there for a minute.
Yeah. It basically, the way it's been explained to me, you know how you live in, like, the sometimes chaotic colors?
Yeah.
Either happy or very, very chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
It just turns everything gray.
Huh.
So you're like, yeah, this is okay.
See, and I'm not saying anybody out there, I'm not hammering on people who take medicine for their depression or anything like that, or their anxiety, or there's some manic people out there that I know, and that's whatever.
Right.
I just turn to I mean, I'm lucky. Maybe mine's just my problems aren't as bad enough that I require medication. I just turn mostly to stoicism to center myself.
Yeah. Stoic reading is a good time.
Which is stoicism, more or less, is Western Taoism.
Yeah.
It's
fine.
It's a beautiful. I'm not gonna. This episode's not about stoicism. I'm not gonna talk about stoicism today.
Although the fasting is kind of stoic.
Yeah, definitely taking an austeric approach to your body.
What was it? Marcus Aurelius, I think, talked about it. He's like, 1 day a month he would dress himself in like sackcloth, you know, homeless people clothing, and he would only eat a scant diet of like rice and beans. And he's like, is this what I feared? Poverty. Poverty's what I fear. Or he would make himself live through his fears. Yeah. So, I mean, I did it, and I'll be honest with you, I feel really good.
Marcus Aurelius, one of those times in history where, like, I feel like it's two lines that met on the nexus between leader and thinker.
Yeah.
That met at the perfect nexus and created the philosopher king, as Plato said that he predicted we would one day find our philosopher king, and I think Marcus Aurelius is as close as we came to that.
So far, yeah.
But, so far.
I feel weird, like, reading The Cave or watching the read version of The Cave.
Yeah.
Or, like, reading Marcus Aurelius, and I'm like, wow, this guy's fucking... They know what they're talking about. Uh-huh. But then I have to wonder if they had a boy sucking their dick the whole time they wrote it.
Well, Marcus Aurelius, I don't think he did. Because here's the thing about Marcus Aurelius.
He wasn't on that pedestry life.
Well, you gotta remember, he was, like, in middle empirical Rome. Mm. So by that point, pedestry was kind of out. Like that was when they started forgetting about the art of pedestry.
Perhaps we should stop fucking these boys.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're talking about Plato and Socrates and stuff like that. Oh yeah, they were on that. They were on that next level with that boy loving.
Yeah.
But
real quick.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on with Grizzly?
Why is there flames on the can? There's flames all over this can.
This is the third time I bought a can of Grizzly and seen some sort of crazy art on the lid.
And they're just losing their goddamn minds.
Listen
apparently.
here, Grizzly. If you're listening, go back to the plastic lid, and then we'll all be better for it.
We'll all be happy.
Because some of us have to clear metal detectors.
You're trying to be too much like Copenhagen or Skull.
We're
it's not working for you.
No, they're not on that 70% American, 30%. Or no, fuck me. Is it 70% foreign?
What, tobacco?
70% U.S. tobacco, 30% imported. So get your game up. 100% American and, plastic lids.
Skull's 100% American. American.
I just have a hard time with Skull because we got really drunk one time at a Dave & Buster's and put a half can of cherry Skull in.
Oh, my God.
And I was like 4 atomic weapons deep. And I swallowed it.
Oh.
So, you know what that does.
Oh. But nah, yeah. You do what you gotta do. If you gotta take medicine, take medicine. I ain't gonna tell you what to do. Chase your bliss, I guess. But there are alternatives out there. Because remember, there was a time before medicine actually did anything to affect your brain chemistry. In those extreme ways, people had to cope with their demons.
I think, too, a lot of it's the unnatural system we live in. A lot of people are fucking miserable in their jobs or miserable in their life states.
Well, could be just construed as a symptom of the post-industrial age.
Industrial society in its future.
It's made us sick in the head.
Yeah.
Like I actually was just reading an article about that the other day. It was a really good article. I shared it on my personal Facebook. I'm probably going to go ahead and share it on the Bones and Tubs Facebook.
Yeah.
And this is one of those rare instances where you're going to see me share an article from a mainstream liberal publication, The Atlantic. Published this article, and we could talk about this for a minute because I think this is pretty important. I think this is one of those moments where we're starting to see the true schism going on right now.
Do tell.
Okay, so the article title is "We Need to Stop Telling College Students That Words Are Violence." Mm-hmm. Okay. This is an article published by The Atlantic, and it concerns the fact that they said over the course of the last 6 or 7 years, they've seen it more and more on college campuses, and we've all seen it too. We're just now seeing it, but in reality, it's been going on a lot longer.
Right. Where
colleges try to create these safe havens for students, right?
Safe spaces.
Exactly. And, here's the thing, like, the Atlantic puts it out there. They're like, listen, there's a difference between, saying literal violent things against somebody. They said that's against the law. Like, you can get in trouble for that.
That's menacing.
Yeah, that's menacing. But they said, just words are not violent.
Right.
Like, words like, if you're not threatening violence against somebody, you just call somebody something.
Yeah.
That's not violence. But the thing is that college has been teaching these students
microaggressions and all that horse
exactly,
shit.
and that they're violent, and that is brought forth a violent response because in their minds, if a word can be violent, it's on the same level as hitting somebody.
Kill yourself.
So
commit suicide.
That's where we're getting these strings of violence on the left, is because they're saying that when these these colleges and these professors told them these words are violent. That meant that was a eye for an eye scenario.
Right.
So if I call you something and then you punch me in the face, there is no difference between what just happened. It was just a law. It's just a law of equality, equity, right?
Right.
No, the Atlantic puts it out there. This is not something that should be happening.
Right.
They said, and they came out, you could swear, you could have heard this on Breitbart. A couple months ago, they put it out there and said basically okay, you're going too far with this. You need to take it back because the problem is that we're actually having literal violence happen over words.
Well, now you're seeing the schism between ideological liberals and Marxists.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Marxists are the ones teaching in the colleges. I hope college goes the same way as the government.
Like down the tube.
I hope it just all shits. We need to get rid of both.
I mean, I still believe in institutions of higher learning.
Right, but I feel like they need to be rooted out.
Root and stem.
Once you have cancer,
I feel like there was some
you have to get rid of it.
There was some grand compromise made at one point in time where it was decided that conservatives would handle upper echelons of government and functionality and agencies and stuff like that, and they let liberals take control of schools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I blame, in all reality, if I'm going to go ahead and lay the blame of all this upon one person, it's going to be Joseph McCarthy.
Yeah.
Because he created the Red Scare and in turn created the counter to the Red Scare. Where people were like, listen, is communism so dangerous that we need to start finding these people amongst our ranks and putting them up on the carpet and fucking calling them out for their shit.
What was the McCarthy trials? What were they about?
Basically they were rooting out communists in the government and communists in entertainment.
It's funny though that they said the McCarthy trials were a witch hunt and they were fake, and yet now all of our institutions of higher learning are just infested with Marxist nonsense.
But I think to an extent you have I can't talk. You have McCarthy to blame for that. Mm-hmm. Because even we have to admit that okay, if the government is saying this is so dangerous, we have to actively pursue these folk, then people start to get curious as to why we think they're dangerous. And then when you come to realize that in reality, communism in and of itself isn't dangerous.
Yeah.
Then what? Then you understand why are they so afraid of it? Well, they're so afraid of it, and McCarthy and all his ilk were so afraid of it because it would usher in the end of their power.
Yeah. And
their ability to wield power.
Do you think they're going to want to give up on their power?
No.
No. They never do they?
No, never do. So, I think, more or less, was there communists that were, and socialists and Marxists who were amongst the ranks of entertainment and colleges and stuff? Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think it was some big conspiracy. Could have been, for all I know, but I don't think it was.
Yeah.
And if it was, it obviously, it fucking worked.
Right.
Goddamn. It took them fucking 40 years. But colleges are rife now. You have to go to fucking Brigham Young to even find a place even remotely conservative at this point.
Right.
Even our local college right down the street from us, at one time, they were considered a conservative college.
Yeah, not so much anymore.
But I wouldn't call it that now.
I just wonder how much, I feel like we've seen this a lot with the local college, the old Oxford,
Yeah.
Most of it, I feel like, are these kids that, they're raised by parents who in their time, it was like, well, your kid's not shit if they don't go to, a prestigious college.
Yeah.
Right? Well, your degree is the same at any college, right? The only difference are the people that you meet there, the connections you make. So these kids, at least at Oxford, the one that you've seen, all of the Barbie dolls, they all look the exact same. They all try to flaunt their stuff.
All the dudes wear salmon-colored shorts.
Right. Insert proper clothing for a timeline.
Yeah.
But they all just, they sit there and it's like a car in the mud, their wheels are spinning, they're wasting their money just to get through their punk-ass degree and then go work for daddy at his company anyway. I'm sick of this shit.
It's like you said, it's about the networking and the connections, right?
It used to be. I don't even know anymore.
Well, I mean, I think from college to college it changes, but okay, a bachelor's in business at Miami does not mean the same thing as a bachelor's of business at Harvard.
No, but that, you could be in your dorm room, you could be dorm mates with like Elon Musk or somebody.
That's true. Now you're the CFO of fucking the boring company.
Right.
You're boring a tunnel underneath LA.
Exactly.
But it's whatever.
#future. Did you see this meme that Dr. Doug Hurdy tagged me in? I think I shared it on the page. It's one of the ever-evolving brain.
Yeah.
And the least evolved says status. The one with brain activity is anarcho-capitalist. The one that's on fire is infighting is ridiculous. #black flag. The one that has reached like almost evolved past a physical being is no flag, fuck labels, fuck civilization. And the completely woke fourth dimensional human is I wish everyone were dead except me and a few select friends.
Yeah.
It's a meme that mirrors my life.
Yeah, more or less.
It's good.
I've been if you don't constantly question your political ideologies and your even your religious ideologies to an extent, you have to test them, right, against things.
All the time.
And the thing is sometimes things change, but I think to the end of the day, I'm still, call me a statey if you will. I love, like, the way things, not the way things are, they could be better, but I think we still need some sort of structure, at least in the loosest forms.
Give it time.
Oof.
I intend on stinging you every time we're around each other until we're eventually just absolute.
I can't be an ANCAP, man. Like,
give it time.
The problem is, like, we're not evolved enough for that kind of behavior.
I've planned a really good argument for this next topic, and I'm curious to see how it lands on your brain.
Okay.
Whenever we hop into it.
Okay.
I just want to prepare you for it. The psychic alcohol swab to my stinger.
Okay. But I can't get on board with the ANCAP train just because, like, okay, I like I said, I'm still in that classic liberal stage because I can't discern, like, there are certain things I feel like the government should be in control of, right?
What could they do that's better than a public alternative?
You mean like a private alternative?
Yeah, private. Free market alternative.
Here's my problem is, like, we've dealt in the past with having certain services done in the private sector, i.e. like fire department. Okay. Fire departments used to be private clubs, right? And fuck, I don't know if anybody out there, have you ever seen Gangs of New York?
Yeah.
Okay, there's that scene where the building's burning and one fire department shows up.
Gang fight.
And then another one shows up, and instead of putting the fire out, they have a gang fight.
Right.
Like, that's an extreme scenario with that.
Well, it's the same. It's a mirror kind of what really happened, though, when you had to buy the fire bonds, or the fire insurance. I feel like that's a different time, though. I feel like we're socially evolved past that. I do agree, though, that at the time that's what was necessary.
I'm still trying to figure out, I don't know, because they're kind of fucking up private prisons, too, for real.
Goddamn right they are. What do you expect? Now, not that I know nothing about the prison system, but I can say this. If you got a problem with staff at $20-something an hour, you're going to have a lot of problems with staff at $9, $10 an hour.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing.
Just from what I've read on Google.
When it comes to, like, certain services, the notion that they should be able to make money off of it is a problem. Because there really is no money to be made unless you cut everybody's salaries and do it cheaper than the government can do it.
Have you seen, like, Henry Kissinger? The people that are legitimately evil?
Yeah.
Dick Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, like, this is just a thought that I'm flirting with. I'm twisting the nipple psychically, but do you really think prisons are necessary? Because look at these cocksuckers. They are arguably the most evil humans.
And they walk free.
They do walk free.
And they prosper.
They've subjugated the problem, but if you look at them, they're just in terrible health.
Yeah.
And it's almost like karma.
It's like
The universe taking care of its own.
well, yeah, it's like the Emperor in Star Wars. He was all ugged up.
Looks like a sweaty scrotum.
His evilness reflected his physical form reflected the evilness inside of him, just like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Star Wars reference for the day.
Come on.
But
My Star Wars tattoo tingles with your mention of the word.
fuck, Dick Cheney shot a guy.
He had a 6-month period where he had no heart rate. Google that sometime, anybody out there. Dick Cheney has no pulse. And you'll fucking be blown away. It's an article from Wired Magazine when he didn't have a heart.
That dude was our fucking vice president.
Right.
Like, just remind yourself of that.
The prison system and the system of law that the government has enacted, I feel like, keeps the most evil out and does. I mean, obviously, look at, like we've talked about before, and we'll never stop talking about it, but people that fuck kids,
Yeah.
they don't get any time,
No.
right?
I was actually talking about that with St. Catherine. Shout out St. Catherine. We haven't really done one of her topics in a while, but
Shout out to St. Catherine.
I'll
She's 41 feet from us at this moment.
we were talking about it last night, actually, about the fact I broke it down and I said, listen, I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, here are the things that I feel deserve and merit to be put into a place where you cannot get out and you have a lot of your rights stripped away from you.
Old school Quaker prison.
Yeah. Okay. And they all boil down to one thing, why they're in there. The one reason they're in there is about consent.
Yeah.
They violated someone else's consent, whether it be murder, rape, or some sort of act of violence. You violated someone's ability to say no.
What if you take it a step further and you've not only violated their consent, but you've also ruined their innocence? That to me is death.
Yeah. Well, I'm a firm believer in capital punishment. And I don't know why we're stepping on eggshells when it comes to like how we go about it. I don't care.
That's the government for you, failing.
I hate to be greasy about it. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, you should be killing these people.
That dude, last year, the year before last, it was a perfect example of government failure where I believe the year we were born,
No.
19 and 87, right? Or were you 86?
86.
I was 87. So you were 1 year old. I was fresh out the hole, you know.
Yeah.
And this guy is in Eaton, Ohio, and he captures a pregnant woman, rapes her, and then murders her and the child. He was on death row for 29 years
Yeah.
before he finally got put down.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And then there was a big stink about his because the medicine didn't work right.
I'll tell you what medicine will work fine, and that's a good old hemp rope.
That's what I was going to say. A rope.
Yeah.
A rope, or I said in my perfect dream world, and I think this is a good time to bring this up. Somebody postulated this to me recently. You know, people like talking politics with me and talking philosophical stuff with me because they know that I love talking about it.
That still waters run deep.
Yeah. And he asked me, he's like, scenario, you're king of America. You have 10 years. Well, he said you have X amount of time. You can have how much time you want to fix this shit. And he's like, you have 5 things you can enact to change everything for the better, or however you think it needs to be changed. He said, what are those 5 things? And one of them specifically was bring back capital punishment for rape, child molestation, and murder. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're convicted of those crimes, you should die.
Yeah.
You have no chance of rehabilitation. You obviously showed that. You had, like, you know, here's the thing. We all go through scenarios every single day where we want to hurt people.
Yeah.
Like, you could be driving your car and somebody cuts out in front of you and you're just,
Yeah.
but you have constraint.
In that moment, you could have beat him to death with a crowbar, but you didn't.
No, you didn't. You just kept driving, right? These people shouldn't be around. And I said the other aspect of capital punishment that I wanted to bring back is turning it back into a public spectacle again.
Yeah. Pay-per-view.
I said, I firmly and fully believe that people need to see justice being done and the full course of justice being committed.
Just some like Game of Thrones shit where we leave a trail of their bodies on crosses into town.
Hey, I said leave it up to them. I said leave it up to the person who's getting killed. I think that's a good option to just say, all right, you know what? You get to pick. You get to pick how you want to go. But it's going to be done publicly.
Yeah.
Not behind closed doors. So everyone can see. this is the result of losing your restraint, of breaking someone else's ability to consent.
Well, the government loves making people feel good, with those feel-good chemicals that help them die. They should just let them overdose on heroin.
Yeah.
They're bringing the shit in anyway.
Well, Sheriff Jones,
yeah.
Sheriff Jones, he's,
Shout out Sheriff Jones.
Yeah, shout out Sheriff Jones. But to that extent, here's the thing, like, I don't agree, like, some people are saying certain things about it. My biggest reason for agreeing with what Sheriff Jones is, and if you didn't know, anybody listening out there, Sheriff Jones, he's a, sheriff in Butler County, Ohio, said that his, deputies would not be carrying Narcan.
Right.
Simple statement.
Fuck them.
And it makes sense to me, because, last time I checked, deputies aren't paramedics.
Nope. They're not first-line defense. No. I don't think our tax dollars should be going to pay for EMTs to show up with Narcan anyway either.
No.
It's different, I guess, if you go and there's a, let's just say, hypothetical scenario, because that's what people love to get into, but you and I are a gay married couple and we love doing heroin.
Yeah.
And we have 2 adopted children. Well, our kids get into our stash and they've overdosed. They've done nothing wrong. We're the ones to blame, but they should be Narcaned.
Yeah, oh, definitively.
We, on the other hand, caught in a homosexual act of love and heroin overdose should be let to fly, we wanted to fly on the dragon, so let us fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw us out a helicopter.
Yeah.
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 Shout out to my alt-righties I've talked to here recently. Do a Pinochet.
Yeah.
Throw somebody out of a helicopter.
Exactly.
That's on the real life ANCAP shit.
Yeah. Come on.
I've nearly indoctrinated at this point.
Well,
but then again, I still have friends in the alt left that I communicate with too.
We can all be friends. We just can't all be status.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
I like to get into this topic though.
Yeah,
we got about 15 minutes left.
Yeah, we can go ahead and burn into it real quick.
Let's do it. Elmo gave us this one. It's about a band called Dream Machine. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You knew the origin. I know at least one of them was an immigrant, right?
Yeah, she's from, I think, Bosnia or something.
I tried to find it, but
yeah, I got the article right
my
here.
Google skills were subpar.
Yeah.
So basically, they were dropped from their record label because of some statements they made about sexual assault, and I think the real hot button issue was immigration and ICE.
Yeah.
And they were like, we immigrated the right way.
She's from Bosnia.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. She's from Bosnia.
So she's from Bosnia, and they basically said, like, my wife's from Bosnia. She immigrated the proper way. She went through all the channels, did it all proper. Of course we don't like illegal immigrants. Fuck them,
Yeah.
And ICE is only doing their job. That's their job, right?
Yeah.
So I understand that argument. They were dropped from their label, and they basically said, well, you've done everything. We already sold the amount of records that we were supposed to sell and more because of you dropping us. We're going to sell more than that, so eat a fat dick.
Yeah.
So, here, are you ready for my
let's hear
my
it.
double spin argument?
Let's hear it.
Now, to appease the alt-right, I will say I agree, because yes, they are just doing their jobs, and that's an awesome statement.
Yeah.
But I started wondering, and this is the ANCAP bug that bit me,
Yeah.
right? And reminded me of history. Everybody wants this Trump wall, right?
Yeah.
If you look into the actual southern border scenario, we already have the Clinton wall, which I'm surprised she didn't talk more about in the election.
Yeah.
The Clinton-era wall basically blocks all comfortable routes of travel on the southern border. The only areas that are open are the desert.
Yeah.
So you're willing to take a health risk, possibility of death. The open areas are controlled by the Mexican drug cartels.
Yeah.
So you either pay them or you get shot.
Yeah.
And the Trump wall, I feel like, is going to be like the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
It was originally crafted as an idea to keep others out, but really all it did was keep people in.
Yeah.
So, here's my thing. If you're in the alt-right category and you find yourself in support of a wall, you find yourself in support of all this heavy government control on who's coming and going where. I watched a video by Adam Kokesh, and he went to Acapulco last year, which is like an anarchist event down in Acapulco, Mexico.
Yeah.
He had all the paperwork to come back in the right way, but of course, as he will do, he took the anarchist route. He said, I'm going to sneak back into the country. Fuck it. So he went and paid, I think, a certain amount of money to the local drug cartels for safe passage through a non-walled area. They went down to a part of the fence that was bent. He snuck through the fence. He said they had what they called illegal immigrant camouflage. They had like ponchos and they were trying to look the part. So they got through the fence and they went through a culvert and a pipe and managed to make it out. There was like a series of open dirt roads they had to cross. Well, I guess they set off a seismic detector and it alerted ICE, or not ICE, but Border Patrol in the area. So they came and found them and they tried to charge them with entry without inspection. Because it wasn't illegal. They had all their paperwork.
Yeah.
So they were the Border Patrol, I guess, when they put cuffs on him, they saw his United States Marine Corps tattoo, and one of the guys was Army or something.
Yeah.
So they started, like, questioning him and trying to get him to admit what he had done. And he was like, look up my YouTube page. You'll see what this is about.
Yeah.
So they saw, and they were like, we're not going to go to court with this dude. We're going to charge him $5,000, and we're going to spend more than that trying to get him to pay it.
Yeah.
So they basically took him back and let him go.
Huh.
And, it just led me to the argument, like I said, the Berlin Wall, what America used to be about, when it was a fresh continent that hadn't quite been conquered yet. It was a place without government.
Yeah.
We wanted to come here and be free, away from government stipulation and bullshit.
Yeah.
You can go down to the border on a Friday or Saturday, a busy time, and where you have somebody else's fucking birth certificate, and they'll let you through. Because they're just like every other human. They don't want any fucking smoke.
Yeah.
They're not running every name.
Exactly.
So are we going to enable the power structure to keep us in?
See that? Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
get rid of the welfare state. If you want to get rid of the problem, who gives a fuck about 15,000 Mexicans coming over here to spend their money in our economy?
And here's the thing. And that was my argument always was for immigration. I tell people this. Some people don't like it. Was that if you got rid of the income tax and went to just consumption taxes,
for sure.
You would eliminate all need for immigration control.
Right.
Because they're all paying their fair share.
Yeah. You get rid of the welfare state. The ones that you want to get rid of are the ones that are trying to come over here and not work.
Not work or send all their money home or whatever. But here's the thing. If you go to consumption taxes, they are all but forced to spend money.
If you're going to buy food or buy clothes or buy anything, you're paying your taxes.
And buy into the system. That's all our government, the bones and hubs, United States of America, would require is to buy goods.
Yeah. Support your economy.
Support your economy. You support the economy, you support this nation.
Yeah. They talked in this anarchist podcast about this cat who in Mexico, I guess they're a lot different with their immigration. But they've got a lot of people immigrating from the United States going down there because there's so much less regulation. They're able to start businesses and all this stuff.
What, Mexico?
Yeah.
Wow.
Acapulco. So he's talking about like let's say a 6-month visa.
Yeah.
And they don't ever get their visa renewed. And normally if you're caught by immigration, you offer them a tip.
Oh, okay.
A cash tip, and then they forget you're there. So this one guy's from Australia, and he got stopped on a bus. His expired like 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And he tried to tip him. They weren't on it. So their fucking solution was something like what we would do. And it was completely retarded.
Oh, yeah.
They kept him in lockup for like 2 days. And then they paid for an overnight flight for him and 2 agents to fly to fucking Australia. Which is probably like $2 to $3 grand a pop.
Yeah.
And then they just, like, let him go. They told him, like, you're banned from Mexico for 2 years unless you talk to the consulate and the embassy, and then maybe they'll let you come back.
What the fuck?
But, like, you wasted all that money. This dude was living down there. He started several businesses, was making all kinds of money for the Mexican economy. And you're gonna pay a lot of money to get rid of him.
Maybe we're building the wall in the wrong spot. Maybe we should, take a note from Game of Thrones. We gotta build that shit on our northern border.
Right, the White Walkers are coming from Canada.
We gotta stop the Wildings and the White Walkers from coming. Now, I don't know which one is which, but I'm guessing one is one and one is the other. Yeah. And we need to keep them fuckers from coming out.
Exactly.
Not only that, we need men to man the wall.
Yeah. It's a perfect place for all of our rapists to go.
Yeah.
Give up all your titles and child fucking and just go sit on a board.
Shout out to Game of Thrones. It's back, and that means it's the best time of the year again.
I'm trying to avoid watching any of it until the entire season's out. I'm going to binge it.
That's
Hashtag Fire Stick.
That makes it hard because I can't talk to you about anything.
You can go ahead and talk away. I'm still going to watch it.
I'm not doing, we might end up, we did a recap of American Gods. And I know our show is normally like, what did we say it was the other day? Like we were trying to explain to somebody.
Every thought you have when you're going to sleep or in the shower,
taking a shower or driving. And I said it's like, what do we say? Conspirafact comedy?
Infotainment, yeah.
Infotainment, like something like that. And like, I know like every once in a while I feel like we just kind of like go off the fucking script and do something else. But that's the thing. That's the beauty. We fucking produce, direct, and star in this podcast. So you know what? We do what we fucking want.
We run these things.
Now, that sounds kind of arrogant to our audience, but at the same time, you guys are listening. So
That's why
obviously,
they're here.
Yeah.
Maybe they like that bravado.
Yeah, so every once in a while, we do something a little different. And let me tell you, depending on how this last season of Game of Thrones ends, there might be a fucking recap on that shit, too.
When's the last one? Next season?
The next season's the last season.
Doesn't it have like 6 episodes or something short like that?
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Now, just a heads up, next week, I'm going on vacation.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean we won't have an episode.
Yeah.
Because we'll be producing one next Wednesday morning still. And then as soon as that's over, my happy ass is on an 8-hour car ride to beautiful, sunny Washington, D.C.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to the nation's capital to go sightseeing and shit.
I hope you get a selfie with a fucking federal police officer holding up MP5.
I probably will. I'm bringing a nice camera. That's one thing. Also, I'm planning on getting some nice high quality video for Bones and Tubbs Nation at the Capitol.
Ooh.
I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know if I'm ballsy enough to go do interviews with people.
You should.
I don't feel official though.
You know what would be tits? And I think Elmo gave me this idea also. You know that little microphone I've got that plugs into your phone?
Yeah.
People do like interviews, random folks on the street. I'm thinking about doing that like at McDonald's and talk to some of these vets.
Okay.
Just a thought for you and for everybody else out there.
But and we were talking before the show. We wanted to get a new guest on, so we're gonna be probably working on that here. Not this next coming week because I'll be on the fly, ready to move. I don't know if I could have anybody over extra. But then the week after that, we might plan for somebody to be on the show.
Come on.
Maybe one of our favorite old-timey guests, or maybe somebody new.
I've been lifting rocks, trying to find Ryan Simpson, see where he's at.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, I'd love to get Elmo on the show eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Elmo would be great.
Shout
to be
out
on the
Elmo.
show. I don't know if he'd do it.
Sure he would.
You know what's weird is not now, not in this current time, but in a later time, he's listening to the show. I know he is.
Yeah, at YMCA.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Elmo.
You do those extra reps.
Yeah, as I say, I want you to turn the treadmill up.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more.
Hit that incline button.
Yeah. Hit that incline a little bit.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do, but know that we told you to do it.
Yeah, and you can do it because we're here to give you power and we're here to fuel that hate machine.
Yeah. So,
you can do it.
But yeah, so we're going to get somebody on the show. We got this third mic that just sits over here lonely.
Lonely. Like an unused dick in a porno.
Exactly. It's the third man, proverbial third man that never gets any action.
The guy just standing there jerking himself like, I'm waiting.
But,
stunt cock.
For real. But yeah, so we're hoping to get somebody else on the show and, hoping to have some good old times.
Before, just to, Tarantino as I will.
Yeah.
Before you go on your trip, you should YouTube Adam Kokesh arrested for dancing.
Okay.
And just check it out. Because he went to one of the national monuments.
Yeah.
Where it's apparently listed on a sign that it's illegal to dance.
Oh, man. That means I'm going to have to dance.
Well, he got arrested.
He got arrested for dancing?
They beat the fuck out of him.
What the fuck?
And when he's a Marine.
Wait, now, which memorial was it now? Because there's ones that I would definitively dance at, and there are ones...
He didn't go to like a Holocaust memorial or something fucked up like that.
It wouldn't be like, I'm not dancing at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I'm sorry. There are Marines with guns there.
Nah.
And hey, if you guys want to have some fun today, get on YouTube, and a buddy of mine at work, I don't know what to call him. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. Let's just call him that.
Yeah.
I think he's into jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Jiu-jitsu guy. He's a former Marine himself. And he's like, hey, you want to see something funny? Get on YouTube and just look up videos of Marines punking people out at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I look it up. Okay, it's not like crazy, like cussing them shit. But it's funny because, like, what'll happen is you'll see them, like, if you've ever seen you've seen the ceremony, you were with me when we went to DC last time.
As babies.
And they'll, like, they do that walk back and forth and do that change. If, like, the crowd that's watching starts getting too fucking loud, he'll, like, stop his march, step off that mat they have, point towards the crowd, put his gun, like, the other side. He'll be like, I can't remember what he says. He's like something along the lines of, it is asked that you be silent and respectful at this monument. thank you.
Shut the fuck up.
Clicks the shit out of his heels and walks back to the mat again. And like one video, this, I guess like it was like a kid, like they have a barrier, right? And the barrier's there to keep, you can only walk so close. And the kid had gotten up under the barrier and was beyond the barrier. And fucking, he had his back to him. He didn't even see him. And he turned around. Stay behind the barrier! Like, this ain't some fucking British, fucking guard shit that they do at Buckingham Palace.
Wearing
like,
a Swiffer hat.
These are I laughed about it. I was like, these are fucking Marines. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But,
that video of Adam Kokesh getting arrested, he does it the most badass way too, because they come up and like it was like a flash mob. So he had a bunch of people that started dancing too after he got arrested. And when they go to put cuffs on him, he just puts his hands up in an effort to show everyone around that he didn't have a weapon and he wasn't a threat.
Yeah.
And he was so fucking strong that they couldn't get his arms down.
Oh shit.
So the dude like dumps him.
Damn.
And they fucking go into it with force. But he points out how fucking ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
And they were like federal park agents too. They're not even police. They're not even like sworn. You know, if you want to go all the way back to what I'm willing to accept as far as the government at this point, it's like sheriffs.
Yeah.
And deputies, right? So the federal government has no reason for a police force, in my mind. But these guys made an excellent video.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I totally agree with you on that one.
Check it out.
Check. But yeah, so I think it's about the end of the show. And it's about that time.
Yeah.
But we'd like to thank you all for listening.
We really do. It's great to have you here.
Hey, send us topics, like, if you want. Because here lately, we've kind of just been like, we'll find something that we want to do and then dig into it.
There's been a decided lack of things to talk about in society, really.
The news kind of wore down a little bit. I mean, you even look at Drudge right now, and it basically says, like, Congress has stalled out.
Yeah. Well, they're gridlocking it with horse shit in order to not get anything done, which is fine. I hate the government, and government not doing anything is the government, doing everything.
Yeah. But we'd like to thank y'all for listening again to our show.
Did I do a countable shout out?
No.
Last show. I found out about this app. Everybody should go to their smartphone, Play Store, wherever you download your apps. Download an app called Countable.
Yes, I did it as well.
And it's an app that allows you to see what's coming up and what's being voted on in the House and Senate. Or is it just the House?
It's both.
I think it shows you
shows you your representatives and your senator.
Yeah. So check out HR 1227. It's
ending federal prohibition
of cannabis. So there we are.
You can, on this app, you can actually, you put yay or nay, and it sends it to your representatives to let you know that this is the way you feel and you're their constituency.
Right.
So if they do against what you want, well, you can.
I'm even going to start doing some angry phone calls. I might even show up in his office one day.
Yeah.
Just to let him know.
Everybody, this is important shit.
Yeah, I'm tired of it. I hate, like I said, the government. I hate the process, but if they ever give us an opportunity to take away some of their power, it needs to be done, especially something like this.
Y'all like money, don't you?
You like money?
Listen, and if they ended this federal prohibition, everybody would get money.
Yeah. We'd be like a national Colorado where we've got so much fucking tax money we don't know what to do with it.
And everybody is in the stratosphere.
Can we not also agree that cannabis has medical use?
Yeah, definitively. Like they're actually. I just read an article yesterday. There's federal like scientific agencies are having to admit that cannabis kills cancer cells. Like that's big news. But yeah, that might be something for another episode. But we'd like to thank you guys for listening. We'd like to thank Ryan Simpson for letting him use this music. And we talked about we might put some Dream Machine on the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Just so you can listen to it. Thanks, Elmo, for the topic.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so check us out. You know the thing. We got YouTube. We got Stitcher. We got fucking Beyond Pod. I'm trying to get Anchor all set up, and Anchor's the shit. I started looking at Anchor. Anchor's the shit. Yeah. And once I get all the episodes uploaded, game on.
We're also on Steemit, which is a new. It's trying to overthrow Facebook. It's backed by cryptocurrency, and you get paid directly from other people that have Steam, and they can upvote you and pay you that way. Some people are like that. Jeff Berwick guy. Granted, he's got a lot of followers.
Yeah.
But he posted, "Hey, I'm on here," and posted his bio, and he got $15,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said he made over $100,000 last year.
Holy shit!
Just from Steemit.
But well, all right. Well, yeah. Check us out. Check us out on Steemit.
We love you.
We do, And we hope to see you next time. And, keep on believing on that dream. I don't know where I'm going with that one.
We really do love you, though.
Yeah, we love you.
A lot.